NASCAR graphics before, and so we love to play, and we love to work with designers.
Okay, so we're pushing Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot. When's that going to be released? We have released it.
So it's a very interesting release strategy. There's a Fathom event, a 2-night Fathom event, October 15th and 17th.
So that means we'll be at the Alamo Draft House. I'm
yes,
pretty much sure.
Yeah. That's
Alamo's big involved in my show. So
Alamo is the bomb. We love Alamo. That's definitely a great place to see a movie. But then they're going on tour. So you know how Kevin does like his tour. So he and Jay are going on tour where you can see the movie and then they talk about it, you know, like afterwards, and does his normal tour stuff. And then when the tour, for example, comes to San Jose, where we are now, it's coming to 50 cities like around the country. Yeah. Then it's going to open in San Jose for like a week. Okay. So it's going to be limited opportunities to see it in theaters. So if you're interested, you should go online, check out Fathom Events, check out the Jay and Silent Bob Roadshow, because already a lot of the stuff is kind of starting to sell out.
All right. Your next project. The Alien.
The other
Tell
one,
me about this.
Memory, the Origin of Alien. And this one, I'm going to tell you about the movie first, and I want to tell you about the story behind it, because I think that's really cool.
Can I just say something? You're doing a lot, man.
We are.
You need to slow down a little bit.
No.
You're doing way too much.
This is good.
Smell the grass. Smell the flowers. That's it.
The key to running a startup, and I tell you this as a serial entrepreneur.
You're not startup anymore.
Yeah. Well, we're still, but the key is to always be kind of on the edge of chaos, right? You know, like you've got to push it, because if you're not at that level, if you ever get too comfortable, then you know you're leaving stuff on the table.
I got you.
You know, we're working around the clock to make this work. But no, Origin. So Memory, the Origins of Alien is effectively the origin story of the film Alien. This is the 40-year anniversary. The film delves into. It's a wonderful film. It's rated. It's like 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it just explores the mythological, the entomological, the story of the screenwriter, the Giger art, Ridley Scott and the role that he played. So it's all about the creation of the film, and with a focus on the chestburster scene and all the behind the scenes of how that whole thing worked, and then the impact that the film had on pop culture and society. The fact that we're still 40 years later talking about this film and why. And, why, Ripley as an iconic character, the ultimate female, the ultimate badass who was a woman in the 70s, it's the whole thing is absolutely fascinating.
How did this come to happen? Whose idea was this? And
so this project was releasing at Sundance. And I mentioned earlier, we have a lounge at Sundance each year. We also have what we call the Scout platform, which is, when we've got our legion of people, we have a legion of scouts that can help us figure out, what's good and help us find new IP. So we're going to Sundance this year. There are 120 films that we were going to look at. And normally, a typical entertainment company, that decision would be made by like two people, like you and I.
Yeah.
What do you think's cool? What do I think's cool? These movies are brand new. No one's ever seen them. There's no trailers. All you've got is the synopsis and the cast and the writer and the director, and you can see what else they've done. But other than that, you've got no other information. So we thought there's got to be a better way. So we created this game that allowed all of our members and investors around the world to log in and rate and vote and evaluate what they thought was going to be cool. And we actually made it a game where you also had to predict what you thought was going to be cool.
This is amazing. Who put this? Is this a company or you guys came up with it?
No, this is 100% Legion.
You better copyright this. This is great research.
It was really cool.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
What happened is when we went to Sundance, we had over 45,000 votes telling us, based on that information I just described, what's available. Then at Sundance, because we have the Legionum Lounge, we've got dozens or hundreds of Legionum members who are there in Sundance that can go be boots on the ground. They can watch the movies and say, this one lived up to the potential, or no, this one, it's a great idea, but the movie's not that great. So we used all that data and synthesized it, and Memory, the Origin of Alien was one of the top on both counts. So we engaged with a filmmaker. We bought the North American distribution rights, That's and now we are, we partnered with Screen Media, but Screen Media and Legion M we're the distributors for this film.
And so when's this get released?
This one comes out October 4th. We just announced that last night. But what's great about it and why we love it as an example of Legion M is partly because we think our investors deserve a say in the projects that we're doing. And we have a lot of tools like Scout, and Impulse is another one, that allow people to weigh in and help set our course. But the other thing is that rather than two people making a decision, we had thousands of people weigh in. And we think that allows us to make smarter decisions because it's not your opinion versus mine. It's the collective insight and wisdom and experience of thousands of people. And that's just one of those examples of how we think a company that's been built to be owned by fans is different than one that was, built to be owned by Wall Street investors.
You guys are doing very well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I am blown away from this is the third year I've seen you.
Yes.
Second time talking to you, interview you guys.
Yep.
Well, not the morning show's broken up. But so what I'm curious, and I don't know if I can answer this or not. So during the testing, since that was number one, Aliens, what was number two? Am I allowed to ask?
No.
It's
a fair question. No. We haven't released a lot of the stuff, but for example,
are you going to pick it up? The one that's number two?
No. Well, so here's the thing.
We can turn off the mic for a second. You can tell me. And I won't say anything.
Well, here. I'll tell you a couple of the top ones. I'm not going to give you the specific order, but I Am Mother on Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix ended up purchasing that one.
Oh, my God. I love that movie.
Yeah, the Zac Efron, Jeffrey Dahmer movie. What was it? Exceedingly Wicked and Shockingly Vile or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He looks just like him. He did a great job.
Yeah. That was a top one. There was a bunch. And what's amazing is that, the way Sundance works is that these films premiere, and after the premiere, at the premiere of the film, there's fans, but there's also buyers. And ideally what you want as a filmmaker, you're there showing your film, trying to sell it. And hopefully what you want is more than one distributor in the audience that says, I want this film. Because what happens is, after it premieres, they will literally stay up all night sometimes negotiating.
Really?
And the next morning, they announce that Netflix bought this movie for $10 million. And Amazon
So are you a negotiator?
I don't do most of the negotiation. No, I mean
I'm just
do
curious.
sometimes.
I want to know. I want to be part of Hollywood.
But anyway, so what's interesting is the Memory of the Origin of Alien is it's a smaller film maybe than I Am Mother. It's a little bit more of a niche audience.
So is that going to be in select theaters?
It's going to be in select. It'll probably be in 15 or 20 theaters. It'll be on demand the exact same day. It's a day and date release. I highly encourage you, if you can see it in a theater. Like normally you think, Star Wars, I got to see that in a theater. This documentary is so beautifully shot. I've seen it on a couch and I've seen it in a theater, and it's worth it to go see it in a theater. I mean, the footage that's in it, the
Can you
art
take your couch in a theater and then do both there?
A lot of theaters today are kind of like that.
I know that.
It's
all right.
But yeah, no, it's anyway. But this movie beat out some of the films that sold for $10 million to Amazon and, sold for this much to HBO or whatever. So, we're going to be back at Sundance again this year.
Okay.
If this sounds like fun, you can be a film scout. Like I said, we have this thing where in addition to asking your opinion to what you thought, which your opinion is just as valid as mine, right? There's no wrong answer.
He's lying right now. But
most opinions are just as valid. But no, we also asked you to predict what you think was going to do best. And that we can grade because we've got all the opinions from everybody. So we're like, okay, you've got your finger on the pulse, I don't. But what we did was we scored it. There was a leaderboard, so you could see exactly how you stacked up as a film scout. And
so this automatically appears in front of them on a computer graphic, a monitor.
Yeah.
Wow, this is awesome.
It's just on your cell phone. You just it's like
it's a regular app.
Yeah. And again, this was people. You didn't have to be at Sundance.
So how do you get into this? How do you get in one of these?
Just go to legionm.com and you sign up.
Do you see how much stuff these guys have to offer?
Well, and so,
go to
I didn't even tell you the best part, right?
All right, go ahead.
So if you're one of the top film scouts, the top few percent, we invited them to join the Elite Scout program because what happens is these are people that have demonstrated that they've got a good ability to predict what the large audience is going to think. And so when we get screeners for a film all the time, and we've got to decide, is this a project that we want to get involved with? We can't share that with thousands of people.
You can only do select
few. With a couple people. So we pull from our Elite Scout group, and we'll send a screener to somebody. And, it's another way that we're harnessing the power of the Legion to make better, smarter decisions for the benefit of the company, which, because these people are shareholders, it benefits them as well. It's a beautiful, virtuous circle.
All right, Legion M, and the website one more time?
LegionM.com. Sign up, 100% free. You can become a film scout, 100% free. If you want to invest, there's a ton of information. We tell you up front, we're a startup. This has never been done before. Statistically, most startups fail. So if you invest, the most likely statistical outcome is that you're going to lose all your money.
But so far with the movies they produce, and there's a bunch from behind me, you're not doing that bad, my friend.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
And your car's not bad either.
That's the thing, is that the startups that go on to succeed change the world and have astronomical returns. If you were dumb enough to invest in Facebook when it was run by a college dropout out of his dorm room and said, you know what, I think this is going to be the odds were against you. But if you were dumb enough to make that bet, you probably wouldn't be here today. You'd be on your yacht someplace.
I'd have my own
interviewing somebody far more important than me.
Are you kidding me? I have no. Believe it or not, I really do have faith in you guys.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I really do. And that's one of the things I'm like, I hope they're there. I hope they're there. I look for the car.
Thank you so much.
No, anytime, and you have any new projects come out, and I know your other half always emails me. Like, I just do think blah blah blah. Any new movies or anything like that, feel free to bug us. We're always there for you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you again for hanging out with me. LegionM.com. Social media, always follow you guys. Always search for @LegionM, correct? And
yes.
I'll follow you. Thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
So Legion M, you want to find out more about Legion M, go to their website, Legion M, and I'm serious, LEGION M.com. Over $7 million raised and over 116,000, a little more than that, fans on Legion M. So check them out. Hey, if you always want to follow us on social media, it's simple and easy at Your Nerd Side. And if you want to get previous episodes or follow the episodes as we release them weekly, it's always on iTunes at Your Nerd Side. All right, so Disneyland. Now, the presidents and the heads of Disneyland are a little upset and they're a little ticked off at their employees because they're letting people know things that we shouldn't actually know. Okay, first off, the Disneyland executive shades Hagrid ride in Galaxy's Edge Defense. Okay, because if you heard about the new Hagrid ride, from the Harry Potter?
Yeah.
You ride on the motorcycle, the broom, and go around, stuff like that. Well, people have been waiting 10 hours in line for that.
Oh, my God. They've been paying people on apps to wait in line for that.
And he says, this is from the president. You ready for this? The chairman of Disney Parks, Bob Chapek. He goes, one of the wins that we had with the opening of original Galaxy's Edge, because this is what he's saying, because the lines haven't been that long. 50 minutes is the longest line, but if you go single, it's about like 10 minutes to get into the Millennium Falcon ride. Is that we didn't want the waits. The deep secret is that we don't intend to have lines. If you build enough capacity, the rides don't go down. It operates at 99% efficiency. You shouldn't have 10-hour lines. So 10-hour lines are not a sign of success. It should be a sign of, frankly, failure. So,
really,
wands versus lightsabers right now. Looks like we're having that kind of battle.
Well, yeah, and I think the battle is really the price tag of getting into the park. So that's something that a lot of people have been talking about for a long time. Everyone's going to try to spin it the way that they want to spin it.
Yeah.
No lines, long lines, look at us. But what it comes down to everyone, including you and I, is can we afford it? And so we're talking about we're talking about $99 to go into Universal versus over $200.
What is it, $220 right now? It's $220, I believe, just for 1 day.
No, it's more than that. So right now, if I went to Universal Studios Parks,
okay,
and I wanted to buy a ticket, $99.
Okay,
right? So I could go over there. If I want to go to Disneyland and buy one of their theme park tickets right now, and here's the thing is, I hate the language because it depends when you buy it, but it goes from $149, but that's through September 8th. Key time is $100. I mean, but I remember you and I when we went to see.
But that's not how they work.
Exactly.
Because it's 2 parks. And if you're going to take your kids want to go see Marvel on the other side and Star Wars on the other line, and then Fantasyland over here, and then Pixar's over there. So you got to get both. So it comes up to what? For both parks, park hopper. What is it? For one day?
It's over $200.